Beat Making Basics.
What's going on YouTube? Beat Making Basics back again with another dope video. If you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe as well as give me a thumbs up because we're coming back to back with bangers. Now today's video, I'm going to be covering Logic Pro 10 shortcuts that you could use while making beats, okay? Shortcuts while making beats. Shout out to one of the subscribers. They actually pointed out this question to me, so I'm going to answer that. So what are some shortcuts that you can use, or some hotkeys or keyboard shortcuts you can use while making beats to make the process faster? So let's go ahead and start making a beat, and I'm going to be showing y'all some shortcuts that I use a lot during that process. So first thing, I like to do a lot of sampling, but I'm actually going to go ahead and start with a software instrument track, and we'll start off with a basic melody. I'll pull up this Alchemy track or bank, and we'll start there. Okay, so I'm just going to click on clean under timbre, and then we're going to find something under here. Let's see what this sounds like. All right, cool. So we'll start with, all right, cool. So we're gonna start with this pluck right here, this ethereal pluck. First hotkey obviously is gonna be pushing the R button to record. Obviously, I know that's something very basic, but that's something that you're gonna be using a lot. So just push the R button on your keyboard to record. It's gonna save you time. Another thing that's gonna save you time a lot, like say with this playhead, it might be right here. Pushing enter to bring that to the very beginning, spacebar to push play to review whatever you record. So let me just go ahead. I'm gonna play like a C minor chord, and I'm just gonna be doing that, kind of messing around with those notes. Let me push this BPM up some. Cool. So that's gonna be, again, R is gonna be that first hotkey. Next thing we'll do here is we're gonna double click on this, and another hotkey that you're gonna be using is holding down Option. Okay, if you hold down Option, you can actually use your mouse or trackpad, just scrolling up, down, or left or right to zoom in and out and everything. Okay, so that's another hotkey that you're going to want to keep in mind, is holding down Option. You're going to hold down Option to do a couple of different things. But another thing we're going to go get into as far as a hotkey is pushing Command A. So like for instance, right now we're in the piano roll, and if I click on the grid, which this is what the grid is, and push Command A, it's going to basically highlight everything here. And that's going to be something that you're going to use a whole lot, especially when it comes to editing. So Command A, that's the next hotkey. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and quantize this, push that Q right here. We can also put this on a swing 1/8. Here we go. Let's use these. All right, cool. So those are some basic hotkeys. Another hotkey that you're gonna find that you'll use a lot would be either using Command C to copy. Okay, so that I can copy this, then push the playhead, move the playhead over here, and push Command V is in Victor. But an easier way to do this is if you have something highlighted, just push Command R. Okay, and that extends your pattern out. Okay, but that's something you're going to use a lot when it comes to making beats. Let's keep on building this beat. All right, bet. Now, sometimes like when you're making beats, you're gonna use a process called layering. And layering is basically where you'll take the same pattern, but change the actual instrument sound. So one quick way to do that is to actually double the track. And so whatever track you're on, if you push Command D, that's going to double that track. You can actually take, hold down Option again, and drag this down here, and that's going to allow you to make a copy of this. Again, what we can do now is layer this by creating a different, picking a different sound. So let's use this Frozen Bells. you have to sometimes find a whole lot of, go to the sounds to make sure that whatever you're selecting is going to work for as far as layering. Okay, so far we've gone over a couple of hotkeys. R to push record, pushing enter or the return button to move the playhead to the beginning. We also use spacebar to push play or push pause. Okay, we also went over pushing Command A to highlight everything. You can highlight stuff within the workspace window as well. And then the copy and paste, instead of just pushing Command C, which is the copy, and Command V, which in Command V as in Victor. Instead of doing that, you can push Command R and you can double stuff up. Okay, so that's so far what we're going to talk about. Let's talk about, say, if you want to chop something up, you can use this playhead to move it like maybe wherever you want to make a trim or a chop, and you can push Command T to do that. Okay, and this is good, say, if you want to, chop up some of the melodies and stuff like that, and do some different type of deals. Okay, so we also talked about pushing Command D to double. All right, you can also create new tracks. Okay, so you can push Option, Command, and N. So Option, Command, and N, and that's going to be a quick key to creating a new track that could save you some time. So the Option key, Command, and N. All right. So like say if we want to come on here and continue building this beat, let's go ahead and start with some drums. We're going to go to the quick sampler. And I already have certain things ready to go. I'm going to start off with this clap, excuse me. Okay, so yeah, those are really some pretty some hotkeys that you can use often. Now we're going to talk about some other hotkeys. You're going to want to make sure that you save as you go. So you're going to want to make sure you push Command S. Okay, we'll name this trap. It doesn't have to be trap. We'll call this Space Trapper. Okay, we'll call it a Space Trapper. All right, so basically what you saw me do is save. We push Command S. Now that we have an actual, the session is saved as Space Trapper, I can push Command S and it will just continue to save. Now, so let's say if I wanted to do a save as, which maybe I can do like a B version or C version or whatever of the session, you're going to push Command Shift and S. Command Shift and S, and that's going to actually allow you to do a save as. So I'm going to do like a B version. Okay, and then let me tell you another thing. So like for instance, when you're naming stuff here, so you might do pluck right here. We'll just say synth, and then we'll just say clap, just to kind of simplify this. Now say if you want what's named here to be named within the workspace window, all you got to do is Command A to highlight everything, and then push Option, Shift, and N. Option, Shift, N. All right, and what you saw that do is basically the same name here is now there. Okay. Another thing that you're going to be using a lot is join. Okay, so like say if you trimmed or cut a track here and you want to join these together, a hotkey for that is going to be Command J. All right, and you're going to use that quite a bit when you're, making beats, as far as editing and different things of that nature. Now, another hotkey that I use often is going to be to go between my different tools. And if you push the letter T as in Tom, then you're going to have this window pull up, okay? And then if you push T and then push whatever you see right here. So you have, if you want the flex tool, you want the marquee tool. I'm usually using this to get the fade tool or the pointer tool, but you could pretty much use any of these. And so say if I wanted to pull the fade tool up, I can push T and then A, and now I have the fade tool ready to go, okay? And you can't see that because these are actual MIDI files and not audio. But if I push T again, as you can see, it's because I pushed TA, it immediately selected the fade tool. So I can push T TY, which is the zoom tool. You know, we can push TM, which is the mute tool. Okay, and it's just a lot of different ways to go within this toolbox here. So I use that a lot. I'm just gonna go TT to get this pointer tool back up. But those are some of the hotkeys that I like to use often. You could also do Command B. Once you're done with your beat, everything is tracked out, and or not tracked out, but arranged the proper way and everything like that. You can push Command B, and that's going to give you the option to export your file or bounce down your file as either a wave. You can do 16-bit, 24-bit, or 4800, or you can do an MP3 file. Okay, you can choose different options here. So that's another thing that you can do. You can also push Command. So say if you want to export something, you can push Command, Shift, and E. And now that's going to export that one sound right there, the clap. So I can push that. We're going to put it on the desktop. And that's one thing you also want to make sure that you do is before you export a sound, always take the end marker to the very end, because you can have issues going forward. So let's just go ahead and check on that file. We're going to go to the desktop, and I should see clap right here. We're going to bring that in, and it exported it. Okay, so those are just some tips as far as some hotkeys you're going to be using while making beats in Logic Pro 10. There's a lot more, but those are going to be the main things you'll need to get started and to, get started with basic editing, get started with basic things. There's also other hotkeys like L turns on this loop right here. That kind of could be a helpful tool. Y actually will open up your library. Okay. P will actually open up the piano roll. Okay. E will also open up the piano roll, because the piano roll is also equally an editor. So there's a couple of different things that you want to keep in mind far as this, you know what I mean? But yeah, those are pretty much the main things. If you push Z as well, you can zoom in instantly on the track. It's going to be a real maxed out zoom. So I can push this on the synth, just whatever I click on, push Z. Okay, and there's a lot of cool tips here. So I'll also go ahead and we'll go to the piano roll, and I'm going to show y'all this tip, and it's going to be the last one. I'm pushing Command A to highlight everything. If you hold down Option and push up, it can move anything that you have highlighted up a semitone, or down, if you push the down arrow, down a semitone. You can also do shift option, and up or down, and that'll take it up an octave. So yeah, those are pretty much some great hotkeys that you can use while making beats in Logic Pro 10. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure that you check out my website, beatmakingbasics.com. We have pro level courses that you can grab, and also pro level loop packs that are royalty free that you can grab, use them in your beats. Everything is designed to help you go to the next level. You can also book one-on-one time with me if you want. It's all there at my site, beatmakingbasics.com. If you don't do anything else, make sure you get subscribed to the channel, and appreciate y'all watching. I'll see you in the next one. We're out.